Jeff and Jeremy here with Dumbass of the Day, brought to you by Peterson's U-Card. They've got the Standard in California. The Standard?
You want? I don't know.
The gold standard.
I know the other day you were like not too hot on Huel because it wasn't what you expected.
California gold.
Yeah. It's now available at Peterson's U-Card. I'll just
California gold.
Just let it be there. Green regular
California gold.
Granite and 3/4 rock is now 10% off during the month of May. So
California gold.
You don't have a lot of time left.
Oh, you don't. It's just 10 days.
Get into Peterson's U-Card. They have free delivery in A-Town. You can also find them online at Peterson, the letter ucard.com.
How pathetic can some people be?
You try and do your part to reduce your carbon footprint. And if you have a hybrid, God bless you, sweet cars, but especially if you drive them outside a major city, you get into little cities, especially in the South, it becomes kind of interesting. You pull into a small gas station, it's like, the is there? Bobby, get over here. It's one of them new inbrids. Look at this. Looks like a Volkswagen a golf cart. I did not hear you come in. You may want to put some carbs in the spokes of your wheels so you make some noise. That's why there's not going to be any NASCAR hybrid race. A NASCAR hybrid race will be like, here they come.
Dumbass of the Day. 93.3 KZOZ.
It's creepy how quiet they are. I was out at camping, and the camp host was coming up. I don't know what they do. They look at the vehicles to make sure you have a sticker in your window that you paid for your vehicle to be there, I think. But you didn't hear the motor. It was a truck. It was a full-on Chevy truck.
Oh, and it was a hybrid?
Yeah, it was just... I just heard the crackle of
the crackle of the rocks,
tires and the rocks and the branches underneath the wheel.
Well, that's how Andy
I turned around and they were right there.
That's how Andy was able to best Dwight in the duel.
This in the Prius.
Yeah, because it really scares me with my kids in the parking lot. Like if I see one driving by.
I think it has to be under if I remember from the movie or the TV show, The Office, has to be under 5 miles an hour.
Yes,
for it to be the motor to be off.
Mm-hmm. That's why Dwight was not killed when he was ran into the bushes. He was only slightly injured. But it still scares me because kids can get ran over. Like if you're in a parking lot and the kids, you need to be able to hear cars coming. I don't know. They always creepy. That's one thing about the hybrid.
Because you're worried like your kids aren't paying attention, they kind of run out and then boom.
Yep. I'm not paying attention to the kids.
That happens, Jeff.
I know it happens.
That just happens. I don't know what your problem with that is. That's going to happen.
Well, yeah.
You've got to be a better parent.
Things happen. I'll try. I try to be a better parent, but who knows?
Put a leash on your kid. That's what I do with my dog. Every
time I go to a national park.
He's locked into the seat.
Put a leash on my kid.
He's got a seatbelt. And then I put the leash on him, and then I undo his seatbelt. So that way he can't
stop talking about yourself.
So then he can't run out. Just saying to you, I'm trying to give you advice.
Yeah.
Put a leash on your kids.
Dog and kid advice. The same thing,
think about it.
You take dogs in the store all the time, right?
For God's sakes, if something
happened. Dog into
happened.
the store? Do you take the dog into the store? Do you ever go to Home Depot?
No. But I've seen people with their dogs in the store.
Everybody goes to Home Depot has a freaking dog they take into the store.
Is that a Home Depot
shoot me
thing?
Dirty looks because I take my kids in the store and I'm like, you have a dog.
Well, then what's the dog doing? He's just sitting on the cart.
Sometimes.
It's not like he's sitting there pooping on the floor.
Sometimes they do.
Well, hopefully they have a bag. Anyways, should we get to Dumbass of the Day? Just a bunch of nonsense today. Hey, by the way, we got Bear Market Right coming in later. Since we're talking about these hybrids, and now we're talking about full-on electric cars.
We are legitimate mega stars.
That was for Bear Market Right.
What's happened in your backyard? Snohomish County?
That's where my grandparents lived.
Tesla guy was driving he wasn't driving, the autopilot was driving. Anyways, a cop was kind of halfway into the lane, halfway out of the lane. He had pulled up next to a fire truck in an accident, and he just figured the Tesla would stop or go around, but the Tesla just slammed into the patrol car.
God.
Little SUV.
Because the guy wasn't paying attention when he was driving, right?
He wasn't paying attention at all because he wasn't driving. The car was driving itself. Of course, he's arrested and all that kind of stuff.
I like it that this is happening because we are so just ready to turn over the keys to the robot lords on this, and you need constant reminders like this to be taking place in society to know that you can't just put your trust in the robots.
When Tesla calls it autopilot or self-driving, there's dumb people out there. And yeah, they have money and they can afford these cars. Just because you have money doesn't make you smart.
Whatever.
Yeah. Sorry, bitch. See, I'm all fired up today now.
Well,
Poor
it's
lady, I
'cause
just called her a bitch.
Somebody is riding your ass about the national park.
Well, no, because I just want you to do a little research so you don't make us sound so stupid.
1,000 people died in
Anyway.
105 years.
When Tesla starts calling their cars, self-driving, or it has autopilot, that would tell a dumb person that, I don't need to do anything. And then they get in the back seat of the car and you go to sleep. I heard they're even putting weights in the driver's seat. So the car thinks somebody's sitting there. And then they get in the back seat and the car drives them. Stupid.
You just got jammed.
Yeah, this guy's going to jail. But maybe Tesla does deserve some of the blame on this. I mean, they tell people, hey, you got to be driving that car. You have to have your hands on the wheel the whole time. You have to be in full control. Yes, it will drive, but you need to be there in case something happens.
Like an accident takes place in front of you and your car doesn't just keep going right on through the
Society's
accident.
not that bright. We're not ready for this. Not everybody is. I realize some people are out there driving them right now. Maybe you're not the problem.
You in danger, girl.
Yeah. Talked to a girl last week. She couldn't afford the $10,000 upgrade to do the full autonomous.
That's good.
It's probably going to save her life.
And the great thing about right now is inflation's going up like crazy, so people will not be able to afford that extra $10,000 for the fully autonomous feature, so we don't have to worry about people turning over the keys to the
This
robot
happens every
lords.
week. Every week we're hearing about a Tesla in an accident, getting pulled over because somebody was sitting in the back seat, nobody was in the driver's seat, and now this guy hit a cop.
Don't talk stupid.
Yeah. Cop got out of the car 30 seconds before this happened. Very lucky he wasn't hurt. Congratulations.
You're so stupid.
You are Jeff and Jeremy's
Dumbass of the day.
Jeff and Jeremy online at KZOZ.com. You're home for the $1,000 playlist. We didn't get a winner yesterday, which means today it's $200, and we haven't played a playlist yet. So just keep listening for your songs. Maybe you'll pick up $200.
Right now, and I'm talking about the past week and probably leading up until June 15th. So that for the next 3-4 weeks, I hate this era of time more than any during the coronavirus. Because you don't know if you should be wearing a mask.
Yeah, you're supposed to wear it until the 15th.
Well,
I'm telling you.
Not everybody knows that, okay? That's the problem.
This is the transition period. It's growing pains, right?
And I was at a big hardware store picking up some landscape curbing, the edging stuff that you need. And I was checking out, and I always love to do this, whether it be Walmart, whether it be the big hardware store.
Why will you say Walmart, but you won't say the name of the big hardware store?
Because the garden center at Walmart. You use the garden center. You do your transactions at the garden center. The garden center lines are so much shorter than the regular lines inside the store.
Oh, I used to do this at Osh.
Yeah.
In Pismo before it went out of business.
You can use the garden center checkout in any store that you go to. And it was funny because the guy in front of me at Walmart the other day, he didn't buy a single damn thing in the garden center.
No, he just knew the trick.
He went in and he bought like laundry soap and granola bars and
if I'm working that counter, I'm like, sorry, sir, you at least have to buy something from this department. Get out of here.
That's what I would
Quit
say.
Cut in line. Go get some grass seed or some weed and feed or something, you
I hope
jackass.
you have a friend with a pool because you're going to have to buy some chlorine tablets to get out of here.
Oh, that's expensive now.
It's actually gone down.
Oh, good. That was just fake news media.
It was
more fake news media.
It was Clorox because people stopped buying the wipes. Clorox is like, but now there's a shortage of chlorine
people
tablets.
like you were thinking about going to a saltwater pool.
I was for about 3 days. I was like, dude, I got to go to the saltwater pool.
Fake news.
So I'm standing there and I'm doing the transaction, right? I have the time of the person that is working the cash register. It is my time with her, okay? Not anybody else's time. Lady comes walking in. She's like, interrupts my conversation with the person that is ringing me up.
I know you don't like people that interrupt.
Yeah, because I work with them. And I'm not just talking about you. Everybody.
No, you think everybody's interrupting you.
She says, do I have to wear a mask? Just like that. And I was like, lady, I'm Can't you see I'm talking to this
You're at
lady
Walmart,
right now?
Jeff. What do you expect?
No, this was at the hardware store.
Oh, this is okay.
Do I have to wear a mask? And then the cash register doesn't know what to say. She's like,
I would have said, yeah, put your mask on.
no, she said, and this adds to the confusion. She says, well, I can't make you. And the lady's like, okay, thanks. And it goes on. And I asked the lady after she walked away, I asked the checker, it's like, you getting a lot of that lately? And she's like, yeah, every day. And it's worse now.
What did you buy? What were you checking out with?
Edging.
Just that?
Landscape edging.
Yeah. Nice to have a potted plant you could have thrown at that back of that lady's head as she walked away.
I know, something, right?
I
Like,
can't. I have to? Shut up!
The edging
Shut
comes-
up! You have to ask, then wear the mask.
The edging comes in a circle, so it would just been like throwing a frisbee.
Yeah, I
at
don't
her.
like wearing the mask either, but God, it's annoying.
But I mean, it's like, why didn't you wait until I was done doing what I was doing? Why does the mask automatically jump to the foremost of importance in society right now? Do I have to wear a mask? I don't care what your conversation's all about right now. I mean, I'm being inconvenienced by coming into your store and spending money anyways.
Why don't you say something to her like, hey, lady, can you see we're having a conversation here? You need to wait your turn.
Honest to God, because my kids were with me. And I can't do that.
You're right.
I can't
Good for
do
you.
that.
Good for you.
Well, I should have said something to her because I would have taught them a lesson. Don't interrupt people, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's rude. But it's just, and I feel bad for the workers now more than ever. More than ever, because they don't know what to do. Now, I guess Home Depot has a policy, and they're like, if somebody comes up to you and says, don't have to wear a mask, you just tell them, I can't make you. And that's what it is. You know, I mean, what the hell?
Yeah, because I know you don't care if she wears a mask or not,
Okay,
but
yeah,
it
either
was
way.
just what pissed you off was the fact that she interrupted you.
The
Yeah,
interruption is what, and the tone.
Was she old?
The tone.
Sounded like an old
and she
lady.
had a mask in her hand.
Yeah.
She had a mask in her hand. So why couldn't she see that the person was in a conversation and then err on the side of caution, or don't err on
Were
the side
you
of
and
caution?
the checker wearing a mask?
Yes.
See, that's common sense.
I was.
Oh, they're wearing a mask. Oh, yeah. I
But
guess
as soon
you
as,
do.
as soon as she said, I can't make you, I ripped my thing off and I went,
Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
Jeff and Jeremy online, KZOZ.com. Bear Market Riot's coming in. They're going to be here in just a little bit, actually. They're going to be here just about 8:20-ish or so. They're going to be playing tonight at the Poorhouse up in Paso Robles. Great to have Nick and Kirk back in here. They're going to play some music. We're going to give away some tickets to Sebastian Maniscalco. I said that right? It's Maniscalco? I don't know why
Maniscalco.
What kind of name is that, by the way? It's a very hard one to pronounce.
Maniscalco.
Maniscalco.
It's Italian.
Sebastian Maniscalco at the Santa Barbara Bowl. And we'll be doing that coming up before 9 o'clock.
So this lady, she is black, lists her house for sale in Indianapolis. It's valued at over, I know, brace yourself, Californians. It's valued at a little over $100,000 by the first two appraisers that come and appraise it.
Gosh.
Okay?
I could pay cash for that.
She said,
When you live here, you can pay cash for that.
she's like, gosh, it seems like my house is grossly undervalued.
Down payment.
So, I mean, this just speaks to the weirdness of the real estate industry, okay? So she's like, I wonder if I were to take, and she's a collector of African art, I guess. So she took down some of her African art. She took down the pictures of her family.
They always say to do that when you're showing a house anyway.
She had a friend, husband, come over
No personal stuff.
and act as if he was the owner for the third appraiser to come in and value the house, to give it the value to put it on the market. It was just, with her, it was just over 100,000. Okay.
Okay.
This dude was white. Okay. This lends total credibility to the argument that racism is still alive and well in the United States of America.
But this was a different appraiser. It wasn't like the other appraisers came back.
Right.
Yeah. So maybe he just appraised it for more, or you're saying that
White dude acts as owner of house. It's valued at $259,000. Double what it was valued. More than double.
what does that
it
have
was
to
valued.
do with what a house is worth? Who owns it? Why would it matter who owns the house? What it's worth is square footage, land, and what the comps are in the neighborhood. That's how they sell a house.
That's what her question is. That's what she does not understand. She's like, it doesn't matter who owns the house. It should be square footage. It should be all this.
Comps in the neighborhood.
Yeah, comps in the neighborhood.
What things are going for.
All that stuff. Now she got questions.
There's got to be more to this story.
I don't know. I just read the story on Yahoo, and I was like, wow, I was floored.
So you have a real estate agent, right? I mean, you've done this. I have not done this, but I watch enough HGTV. So you want to sell your house. You get a real estate agent. They come in, and then they bring in an appraiser? Mm-hmm. Or usually the real estate agent tell you what the house is worth?
The appraiser comes in and says, yes, you can list the house for this much.
So the real estate agent will come in and say, this is what I think your house is, what we should list it for. Mm-hmm. But then
this is what we can value it at, and then you list it for whatever the hell you want to list it for.
But the appraiser comes in later when you actually have a deal, right? And the bank sends an appraiser in.
An Indianapolis woman claims the appraisal of her home.
When you sell the house, and then the bank has to make sure that it's worth what, apparently you guys made the deal for, they send the appraiser in, correct? And to make sure that the deal is what you guys
the
shook
house
on.
can be the house can be,
because sometimes you could sell a house for more than what it's appraising for, and the bank will we're not going to do the loan because it's
right, exactly.
You're
especially
paying way
in this
too
market,
much for this,
especially in this market right now.
So this is okay. So just to get some context of what happened here,
she purchased it for $100,000, around $100,000 3 years ago. The appreciation in the area that she lives is much like it is everywhere in the country right now. She was expecting to get 185. Her appraisal came back at 125. Second appraisal came back even lower at 110.
Third appraisal came in after she took down her pictures.
259.
That's so I can't make sense of that. That makes no sense.
Nearly $150,000 more than her lowest.
What did she sell the
appraisal.
house for?
She hasn't sold it yet because it's now a legal battle with, she's got to talk to an attorney and talk to the first two appraisers and talk to, I don't even know who you sue in this.
I don't even know
instance.
how you prove, and she says it's racism, and maybe it is. I don't know.
Sounds like it.
I don't know how you prove it.
Sounds like it. I mean, come on. She went in, specifically took down her African-American art,
yes, I understand
some books which might identify her race. She took out everything that would identify her race, then had a white friend's husband come in and
meet the appraiser.
A
different appraiser altogether.
This is my house. This is different appraiser. That home appraisal valued her home.
If it was one of the first,
but you can't because the first ones are going to have a record of it. You know,
right? No, it makes sense. But
so in Indianapolis, at least in the real estate market in Indianapolis, based on this case study, yes, racism is alive and well because
that's
for
still to be
reason.
determined. But yes, I can understand the argument for it. I don't understand why a house would go up $100,000 plus
$150 more than her lowest appraisal
from the third guy. And is this a common practice? I don't know because I don't work in real estate and I've never sold a house or bought a house.
Well, and I don't think it's a common practice everywhere. But apparently in Indianapolis, it is. There's something. So she is getting together with the Fair Housing Center. I mean, this is the thing is like you want justice. You want retribution against those that have wronged you because they are taking, in this case, about $150,000 or trying to take $150,000 out of your pocket. But where the hell do you go to for that? I got to talk to the Fair Housing entity in Indianapolis. I mean, your hands are tied.
The real estate, there's got to be a real estate Better Business type bureau, right? The realtors, the National Realtor Association.
I guess you could go after the first two appraisers and be like, hey, how come this guy did it for $259 when I had a white dude acting like he was
now I'm really curious about this story, and I got to follow it. Send me the link to this article so I can follow it.
I'll put it up on our Facebook page. And
we need to, there you go.
Follow the adventure yourself.
That's what I'm asking. I want to follow it because I want to see where this goes, and hopefully we can keep checking in on this and see where this goes. I just can't believe that in 2021 this would be happening, but that nothing surprises.
Well, especially
in
2021, when
anymore.
Everything's under a magnifying glass, you're going to be an appraiser. You'll be like, I don't know, this house was owned by a black person is worth a lot less. That's a horrible policy.
But you're putting words in somebody's mouth.
Right. But what I'm saying is,
I want to know what they say. Why did you appraise it for less than $159,000, and he appraised it for over $259,000?
Her claims are all she did was remove the art and act like a white guy was owning
and then
the
brought
place.
a white guy in.
Yeah.
Your thoughts, 805-543-3693.
Subscribe to the Jeff and Jeremy podcast now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, and YouTube. It's your Central Coast commute-friendly podcast.